Yes, I have heard about the war of Idu and Oba. That's in Kaneku Aya Idu no Oba. That is a true story. So who are the Idus and who are the Obas in that Igodomigodo, that present Benin? Who are these people? Well, we are going to come to that, but somebody was saying that the Great Wall of Benin, the present Benin, was built by that Idu people. It was built by that Idu people. And I am going to tell you guys one short, linkage between Igbos, the Gala, and the Oba. I'm going to, drop what I know about that. I've had a discussion with a professor of history, but very unfortunate I don't have that time to put him on record, but I just had a little discussion. But this kind of discussion is good so that anything you can bring it up, and possibly it may form people's opinion. Another thing that we are not doing so much in the histories of what happened in the past, because we need an approved, documented with physical evidence of what really happens. Evidence can come in terms of artifacts, and the archaeologists, they know the way they get the evidences concerning these histories. So let's hear him.
Since it is clear and obvious that this war was here before the emergence of Benin Empire, it's even there in their own account. It says that it was long there before the emergence of the Oba dynasty. Okay, so since this wall has been there or was there before the emergence of the Benin Empire or the Oba dynasty, who were the people that built this wall? Who built this wall? Because it is obvious that this wall that is called the Wall of Benin was not built by the Benin, because this wall is almost 500 years older. It has been standing. So who built this wall? Who are the people that built this wall? The answer is simple. The Igbos built this wall. The people that built this wall are called IDU, the Idu people, IDU, Idu people of Igbo land. They are the ones that built this wall. So when next you come in contact or across this wall you see, they call it the Great Wall of Benin, you address it very well as the Great Wall of Igbo, the Great Wall of Igbo, or the Great Wall of Idu. Either you say it is the Great Wall of Igbo, or you say it is the Great Wall of Idu. And who are the Idu people? The Idu are the people that occupies that geographical location, that geographical sphere, that axis where Benin Empire, Benin Kingdom sits today. Those are the Idu people. They own that place, they own that land, they own that territory. It belongs to them, and they've been there. They are the ones that built these walls. The people of Idu, the Idu people of Igbo land, they are the ones that built this wall. So when you come across it, there is nothing like the Wall of Benin. Now, why? Okay, the British destroyed this wall. The Europeans destroyed this wall. And why did they destroy it? Just to make sure they destroy the Igbo account. Because you see people saying, oh, Igbos don't have history, they don't have account and all that. That was the purpose. Destroy the wall so that the people will not be able to trace. Because if this wall is still standing, people will be able to ask questions. Why do we have this wall? Who built this wall? And so questions will come. So the best thing is destroy it so that they won't be able to have a trace to it. So that is just how it is. That was why they destroyed it. And that was why even the Guinness Book of Record went ahead to tag it as the Great Wall of Benin instead of the Great Wall of Idu. Because the people there were called Idu, not Benin. Benin, even the people of Benin, I don't even know if they know the meaning of their name. Because that word, Benin, was given to them by the Portuguese. You get it? They were called the people that reside on that sphere. That geographical location was called the Idu. So why did they have to hide this name? Why did they have to claim that name, that ancient name, so that it doesn't have any trace to the Igbos, so that the Igbos wouldn't know or find out? Conspiracy. So this is a global thing. I've talked about it and I'm still talking about it. So that is it. Now, before I wrap up, the Benin people says that their progenitor, the person who begot the Benin Empire, is Iweka. 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 You get it? It's Iweka in the 1200. How come? Because Iweka is an Igbo man. How come an Igbo man begot the Benin Empire? Because I believe the Onisha people, you have Iweka Road in Onisha. Aba people, I don't know if you have Iweka Road in Aba, but Onisha people has Iweka Road in Onisha. So how come Iweka, an Igbo man, begot Benin? And Ile-Ife traces their history. They say their progenitors came from Benin. And the Oba, Oni of Ife, mentioned Obatanla. I'll talk about that in a separate video, in a different video. So this is just what you have to know. So when I say that the Igbo is the mother of the earth, did I lie? When I say that the oldest civilization in the world started in Igbo land, did I lie? When I say that Igbos are the progenitor of the earth, when I say that migration, evolution, life began in Igbo land, did I lie? This wall of Idu is considered as one of the wonders of the earth, wonders of the world, built by the Igbos, built by the Igbos, built by the Igbos. The best architectural designs, the best sculptors, the best engineers, the best architects, the best painters, the best carpenters, the best artisans, they built this wall. So when next you come across this wall, you address it very well as the wall of Idu or the wall of Igbo. We built it, we made it. So I believe you've been able to learn something today. Thank you. Please follow me on YouTube, okay, because most of these videos are lengthy. So with time, I will stop posting these lengthy videos. I will just post the little videos, okay? I'll post the full videos on YouTube. Please follow me on YouTube, okay? My YouTube, this thing is on my bio, okay? It's at the top there. It's at my bio, okay? So thank you very much. I believe you've learned something today. Follow me in my next video. Thank you. Share, distribute, comment, and so, okay? See you.
The Benin Empire was one of the oldest and most highly developed states in West Africa, dating back to the 11th century. The walls of Benin City, originally known as Edo and located in present-day Nigeria, were the world's largest man-made earth structure and an estimated 4 times longer than the Great Wall of China. It took an estimated 150 million hours of digging to construct, and are perhaps the largest single archaeological phenomenon on the planet. The Guinness Book of Records described the walls of Benin City and its surrounding kingdom as the world's largest earthworks carried out prior to the mechanical era. Large portions of the walls were destroyed by the British in 1897.
The walls of Benin, 4 times longer than the Great Wall of China, built by hand.
I bet you that wall was a Great Wall times 3 of a Chinese wall in length. To tell you what we are talking about. But unfortunately, Britain destroyed that wall when they were fighting the Idu people. Britain, you know, they are the ones that destroy it majorly before development, now destroyed the remaining part of it. That wall was built with hand, ordinary hand, packing sand and mud to build that wall. Yes, like I said, there is this popular opinion, whether it's popular or not, but let me just drop it. I met this professor we were discussing. I have interest when it comes to history and anything that has to do with Igbo people. So we were discussing, he said the lineage of Igbos was like this Obugad. Obugad, there is linkage between God of Israel. Even Israeli people, they confirmed it that there is link. So that God had a son, Eri. Sons, Eri, Ata, Oba. Yes. These three people, but let me just give you an insight. So these three people, Oba went towards that side, that present Benin. Then Ata, they said Ata is too rough and people that they feel that they never do well. So Ata moved towards that Kogi side to settle. Then Eri remains in the present Anambra. Then the Eri had his own children. Aguleri is there as one of the children, and the rest of them. That's why this Owerri you are seeing, they call it. That's why this Owerri you are seeing is Owe Eri. That's a kind of place that belongs to Eri. So there are so many things in that regards, but that is what really happened. And when there is fight, when the first Portuguese that came to Idu land, the president Benin to fight them, Oba had to invite his brothers, calling on the brothers machinery from the east to come and help him to do the fight. That was when the Chime himself went, because he's a warlord. Probably they said he came from Arochukwu. That's Aro, he's an Aro man, probably. So he went down to Benin with his, fighters. They helped the Benin people they helped the Oba people, Idu people to, achieve that fight and that war. So after that war, he settled there for some time. When they are kind of having issues with the Oba people, the Idu people there, they were having issues. So he had to reverse his movement. Then he stayed there for decades. Has expanded a lot with his children and everybody. So they had to start coming back to where they came from. As they were coming back, some settled Iseluku, Ogwashuku, Abo, all these areas, Igbo-speaking areas. They settled there, and the man himself, Chime, died, and he was buried somewhere around Onichubo. The grave is still there up to today. So the last people that crossed, because when he was going, he told his people that they crossed one big river, which is River Niger. This River Niger you are seeing. He told his children that they crossed one big river when they were going. So for them to reach home, they must cross that river. So finally, the last batch crossed the river and they settled in Onitsha. Coming to Onitsha, there are people there. At the part of Onitsha, at the top, upper part of Onitsha, there is Igala people. Few Igala people, they are there. That's why their villages are different in Onitsha, just like every other towns and villages. In this present Anambra state, there are indigenous Igala people in Anambra state today. So it's like that. To tell you that there is connection between Igala and Anambra state. You can never take it away from the Igbo people. You see? So they are descendants, all these people are descendants from that, Gad, Eri, and the rest of them. That is what really happened. So, well, having said this thing, I don't know what your own story is. If you want to tell us your own, you can do that in the comment section, and share this video, like it and share it so that others can bring in their own contribution. That is how we learn and grow. So let's hear.
Does Benin Kingdom, do you people have any connection with the Igbos?
The only connection I know, I wouldn't like to talk about, so I don't bring them down. Okay, let's say Onitsha, for example. Onitsha, you know that the whole of Igbo land, they respect the Obi of Onitsha.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the Obi of Onitsha is from Benin.
Obi of Onitsha is from Benin.
It's from Benin. Like I said before, Onitsha was founded by Benin. It is in history book. And up until 18th century, the whole of Onitsha was still speaking Benin, Edo language.
But we can't find Benin people in Onitsha today.
Because of time. But when you go to the Obi himself, you know, we discussed this.
So sorry, sir. Logically speaking, is it that your people are not reproducing? So why don't you still have elements and traces of the Benins if truly they are the owner of Onitsha and other places, the Ilefe and every other places we mentioned?
The Igbos did not have kings. The highest they had were, I think, the forefathers or something. They did not have a centralized king as they have now. They now have Igwe, they have all these things. All of those things started with the colonial masters, the people who could bribe them. Warrant officers, I guess. Okay. Warrant officers were the ones who bribed their way into becoming their kings. So the only place you had a king that is now part of Igbo at that time is Obi. That's
I think
yes, Onitsha.
He's the most referred king in Igbo land.
Of course, because he has been there.
And even in spite of that, he's not classed in the caliber of Oba of Benin or no of Ife and the rest.
No. If he came from Benin, if Onitsha was founded by Benin, you cannot compare.
Just imagine what this young man is saying. There are some things you hear, you know that one is out of place. I said this thing, and from my little understanding, that the only way you can trace people where they are from is their language. Majorly their language. Language is the last thing that people can drop. So if somebody is speaking a dialect of Igbo, the person is an Igbo man. Every other thing can change, or which is also difficult. Culture, hardly cultures change. Dressing can adjust. But you see language, language not a change. The only thing that can change in language is dialect. That is the thing. So somebody should educate him. And of course he has the, what is it called? He's entitled to his own opinion. Yes. But it's good to point things out so that people can also voice into what they know that is being discussed about. Okay, let's have a view of this discussion that was held with an Ikwere man and Ikwere people also. Then, this name Ikwere, you know, if you come to people's, settlements, like in Anambra State, they will call some people Abuenu people. Abuenu is not a tribe. It's just a description of part of Igbo. And I believe that Ikwere can be something similar to that. A description of certain people of Igbo origin. If you say Wawa people, I am going to Wawa bun Enugu. So it could be a description of certain people of Igbo origin. Eka people is a description of certain part of Igbo people. So that is it. That is it. Let's listen first.
Ikwere like Igbo, but Igbo like Ikwere.
Igbo like Igbo.
Do abalam.
Igbo like Igbo.
O mama ni get nga. Igbo like Ikwere, but Ikwere like Igbo. Ya ha dọkọ ọnụ na hesi ndị Igbo na ndị Ikwere jiri emekụma.
I know with this conversation before we have our brother joining us, but I will introduce myself. Ahamu Chukwuemeka, Chief Ojembe Enwero One, n'ala Igbo. Igbo zuru mee maka ọrụ anyị na-arụ. Ihe anyị na-emewu ka anyị chịkọta Igbo ọnụ. Ihe anyị jikọ na-achịkọta Igbo ọnụ awụ anyị nọ under the umbrella of Unify Igbos Now. The n'ime Unify Igbos Now anyị nwekwere ndị Igbo Cultural and Social Enlightenment for Unity Foundation. Anyị ji na-aga. So biko ka ọ tụrụ anyị onwe gị.
Thank you. I'm Nkesi. English name Henry Igwe. Now the youth president of Omopi. So I'm Bialula.
Udo. O jiri na ebe anyị nọ. Maka na ebe anyị nọ anyị ji ọ gaziri agazi because anyị nwere elder nwekwe our brother ndị na ha nọ na-enwe this conversation maka na ọgụ a ka anyị chọbịa. Akwa ya? Anyị gwara ya gwa sịrị anyị chọrọ the youth president because ihe anyị na-emewu a youth vanguard. Ọ bụrụ na anyị ga-enweli a cultural synergy among the youth of ndị Igbo aka ebe a, Igbo aka River State na Igbo aka Imo na Anambra na Ebonyi na Enugu, ọ ga-enyere anyị aka. Like m kwuru, ihe anyị na-ekwu ijikọta Igbo ndị na-asụ bịa maka na asụsụ unu ebe a ihe ọbụla unu kwuru unu ga-abịakwa na bịa. Akwa bịa kwa come. So kedu ihe ị nwere ike ikwu na udiri njem a, udiri mkpakọta ọnụ a, biko, as a youth person?
Okay, thank you. Equal according to I'm Igbo Asu. I should speak my language.
What language? Ihe na so dialect of Igbo. So dialect.
Ega kwa mi hem na so. Hem na so onu Ikwere.
Onu Ikwere. No ngwa so.
So ba mada konola m hegiku. Ebali alaka gebia. I wouldn't Ikwere. And Ikwere unde homa masri. Ikwere like Igbo, but Igbo like Ikwere.
Igbo like Igbo.
Do abelamne.
Igbo like Igbo.
O mama ni getunga. Igbo like Ikwere, but Ikwere like Igbo. Ya head okonu na hesi ndị Igbo na ndị Ikwere juru emekuma. Igbo bịala aka anabata we ile anya nwa bụ ndị Igbo dị anyị Nigeria idebe dị diaspora nwa ebe ndị Igbo da but mkpa kede enwewo Igbo ka anyị we mekwuo ọwa achọ ogbu anyị ya head oke mmekwu anyị Igbo raga ahụ ochikọta raga ahụ. Ibiani River State, if you come to River State as it stands now, all the Igbos are safe. The cultures of Igbos are being practiced in rivers and Ikwere at large. But when you go to Igbo land, they want to marginalize you, they want to eat you up. They want to take you, even whatever you have. That is why it is becoming so difficult for an Ikwere man or an Ikwere man to partner with Igbo or to unite with Igbo to say we are Igbo. If Igbo want a kind of partnership with our people, it's very easy. There are a lot of conditions and things they are supposed to understand and allow to happen. Most of those things is taking what belongs to us taking any Igbo man that comes to your house want to take over you. Yes. If you can hear from, I listened to one man called Gowon. So wherever Igbo go, they want to take over.
Is it Gowon or Sablana?
I said Gowon.
Gowon, the former head of state.
I listened to him. Wherever Igbo go. But that is by the way.
No, speak. This is the.
I'm just trying to tell you. But among the youth, if we want to unite ourselves, to say because of boundary adjustment, because of language relationship, let's come together and see how we can partner ourselves because of what is going on in Nigeria and the world at large. So that is what I want to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you, youth president. All right, you have something to say. All right.
Okay. Thank you for what you said. Anyway, you might have heard from what Gowon said, but I'll stand here to say one thing. I grew up at Nsukka from 1973 to 2007 when I came to Port Harcourt. I grew up in Igbo land. I speak all Port of Igbo. I married from Igbo. I gained admission at the University of Nigeria Nsukka with 207 cutoff mark for less educational zone, which includes River State that I came from. And some people that is from Igbo land that scored 240, they didn't gain admission. So I'm still wondering that aspect of what Gowon said to what I witnessed. I'm talking about what I witnessed. And then this assumption that Igbo people normally like to take properties. I lived all my life in Nsukka. I never saw one. I'm trying to say something. What am I trying to say? Assumption is not the same as witnessing. Witnessing means that you are on ground. You understand? I'm from Omok. I'm from a Ihuku family, as I said. I gained admission. Some people were denied admission because of, I believe, the love they have for the people from South. People from River State, their cutoff was 200, 207, 203. They gained admission. The people who scored 240 did not. From that same state, the same area, they never gained admission. My father worked in the University of Nigeria from 1950-something till 1990-something when he retired. 35 good years. So I'm not just trying to say what I heard. I'm talking about what I saw.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wenemadu, I thank you for your time. I thank you so much because you spoke as someone who wants to see change. You did not, you did not say based on, oh no, you give options where this peace can be. And I think we are getting somewhere because if the youths from this side and youths from this side start talking, you lay down your grievances. This is what happened. This is what you heard. Because your fathers, yes, your fathers told you something, my father told me something, and we must always go back to that. But because of the contemporary times, because of the time that we are in now, we have looked at the Nigerian political feature, and we have seen that me and you, we are being marginalized. So we must begin to make adjustments that will help both of us, not based on what's happened during the dark ages, but what we can make up now. Now, you said a lot of things. You also said about Igbo marginalizes people. You said Igbos marginalizes people, which I will utterly debunk here, because that is never truth. Now, in the Igbo, you have some, as in now in Igbo, maybe a bunch of people wundi Igbo. Man, when a bunch of people wundi Igbo, this Igbo one umbrella, this Igbo in another an umbrella, but man, I watch otu isi wuru Ikwere occupies about how many local governments? 4 local governments na Rivers State. Otu ahụ ka isi nọcha na mpaghara. Now, o nwere ndị dị obere karịa ibe ha. Ịbịa na ebe ahụ kpọrọ Igbo, e nwere ndị isu ama nke ị na-akpọ Isoma. E nwere ndị Owerri. E nwere ndị Mbaise. E nwere ndị Ọka. E nwere ndị Nsụka. E nwere Abakaliki. Enweghị ndị Wawa. Enweghị Wawa. Yes, o nwere ndị ya na-akpọ ha based on ihe a ji akpọ ndị o nwere ndị come ha Wawa. As in mba Wawa. So o nwere asụsụ Wawa ahụ ihe mmadụ sụrụ n'ọnụ. Ndị Wawa. Ndị Wawa. Yes, anyị nwekwa ndị ha anyị na-akpọkwa ndị Wawa. You understand? E nwere ndị Ngwa. Otu eshikwe nwee ndị Echi omere occupy how many local governments akwa ofu? Local government is 2. Ọmụma yes, ọmụma wee Echi. You know, but ndị nke azọrọ nke ha. Now, otu a ka eshikwe nwee ndị Ịka. Ịma ndị a na-akpọ ndị Ịka. Ịma Agbọ. Ndị Agbọ ahụ wụ ndị Ịka. Now, no, ndị ahụ wụ ndị Enuani. E nwere ndị Ụkwani. Ebe Kwale ha. Na Kwale a na mere Ụkwani a na mere occupy about 4 kwa.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
You know, yes, 4. E nwere Ụkwani local government. Nwee Ndokwa West, nwee Ndokwa East. Na n'ime Ndokwa East e nwere ndị Abọ.
Yes. Abọ is just opposite Ndoni.
E nwere ndị Ọnya.
Ọnya, yes.
Ndoni iwu ndị nke anọ batara na Rivers State. Now, anyị niile na-asụcha ofu ihe. Anyị niile na-asụ ofu asụsụ na-akpọkwa ofu agwa. So onye bụ onye Igbo anyị ga-ejide aka. Onye ọbụla gburu jụ zawa otu isi zakọrọ Ikwere. Onye azakọrọ Ngwa. Onye azakọrọ Isu. Onye azakọrọ Ọnịcha. Onye azakọrọ onye bụ onye Igbo eji aka. So ya ka anyị ji na-ekwu. Ihe ndị a na olee onye uwe onye Igbo na-eme gị dominate. Ele onye Igbo batara ebe a na-asị na ihu arịsha na nna ya dewere ya na ya onwe ma ọwụ ala na ọhịa ma na-abịa ịbịa buru anyị ama ihe mere during that military operation. It was a military operation during that war. It was a military operation. It was not a civilian affair. So he could say that na nwere ihe a na-emekwa bụ before that war. Military operation, they have their just like in Nigeria no under military leadership, military regime, successive ones, and when queue and counter queues. You understand? Military will not have power. Onye edosa ha na military checkpoint na ị ga-ama na ebe a ga-change because they have their own way. They different from otu mụ na gị shi na akpa. So we must not keep on judging or basing our judgments, our disagreements based on what happened during the military era. We should find a common ground to unite culturally. This is what I'm saying. This is why this movement is alive today. Thank you.
Ihe you wetere dị mma tu ekwugara now. Otu nwere ndị ga-ewegara ha ekwuo. Obi wa akpa. Onye ọbụla nya aka ya. What you are introducing can change.
All right, we are going to call it a day for this particular video. Well, don't forget to like and share the video, comment, and let us know what you think. We need to know what you think about the video. And usually, I say these things at the end of the video, but sometimes it's supposed to come at the beginning of the video so that people will take note and do the needful so that we can gain more knowledge and understanding. Well, I am still Chinedu until I come here next time.